The three-time Tony Award-winning Broadway musical Life of Pi comes to the Peace Center July the 8th through the 13th, told with jaw-dropping visuals, world-class puppetry, and exquisite stagecraft. Life of Pi creates a breathtaking journey that leaves audiences filled with awe and joy. Today we're joined by actor Taha Manovala to tell us a little bit more about his role and about this breathtaking show. Taha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so let's talk about Life of Pi. Like looking at the videos and the picture, you're obviously transported to a different world, and the puppetry is amazing. For folks who've never heard of this story, obviously it won a lot of awards, but set up the story for us.
Yeah, so Life of Pi is sort of a global phenomenon that started as a book written by Jan Martel back in the early 2000s, then became a movie directed by Ang Lee in 2012, and now it's taking on a life of its own in the stage production. The story follows a young man named Pai Patel who grew up in Pondicherry, India in the 1970s and lived a very idyllic life in a zoo surrounded by his family. And because of the political unrest that was happening there at the time, his father made the decision to uproot their entire life, take all of their animals on board a ship, and sail across the Pacific Ocean to seek a better life for themselves in Canada. And tragedy unfortunately strikes. There is a shipwreck, and Pai suddenly finds himself stranded on a lifeboat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with a very interesting cast of characters. You have a hyena, an orangutan, a zebra, and a fully grown adult Bengal tiger by the name of Richard Parker. So the story quickly becomes about Pai's survival, his resilience, and sort of a treatise on faith and belief and storytelling, and lots of really incredible themes.
And of course, as the star of the show, you get a unique perspective. I'm sure the audiences are obviously, wowed by the puppetry and all the things they're seeing on stage. As the star of the show, what is really special about it for you to be, getting that first person perspective really close up to all the things happening on stage?
Yeah, I mean, this character and this story are literally one of the most meaningful pieces of artistry I've ever gotten to experience. It's really amazing. Pai as a character grows up in this trifecta of faiths. He is a fully practicing Muslim, Hindu, and Christian. And it makes me reflect back on where I grew up in London, Kentucky, where I also grew up in this sort of trifecta of faith. I grew up in a Muslim household, but also had near and dear friends that were deeply Christian and also deeply Hindu. And it was sort of this sort of meaningful revisitation of these memories that I grew up with when I was young. But in terms of doing the show, in terms of the perspective of playing Pai and playing alongside of puppets, it's really one of the most magical experiences I've ever had. We have this concept in puppeteering called the fourth puppeteer. So if it takes 3 people to operate a puppet, the fourth puppeteer is the human element that is outside of the puppet. It is the witness to the puppet that imbues it with life and imbues it with belief. But that's also you all, as the audience, is also responsible as the fourth puppeteer to buy into this idea of these puppets being full of life and full of energy and full of just unpredictability. And so it's been a really incredible experience getting to play this role.
Like I said, the imagery is very stunning. So for folks that, even if you've seen the movie, you know the story, it's always great to be able to see the action and the artistry come to life on stage. It's playing at the Peace Center July the 8th through the 13th. You can always go to peacecenter.org to check it out. Taha Manovala, thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you on stage here at the Peace Center starting on July 8th. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Looking forward to seeing you.